Should you draft DeAndre Swift in fantasy football this year? Well, let's talk about it. DeAndre Swift is a mediocre running back, and he might be a little bit more this year. Swift finished last year as the running back 19, and he's currently going as the running back 25 and the 69th overall player. Listen, the Bears were an abject disaster last year. That's not an argument. But they did do a lot to improve this offseason. They improved the O-line, brought in a lot of good players, and we're hoping that Caleb Williams could take a step forward. And we've seen already with Swift, a guy who finished last year as the RB19 with only averaging 12 points per game, that he could be in this offense maybe a little bit more elite. From weeks 4 to 8, where the Bears were on that hot streak, where they beat the Panthers, beat the Jags, right up until when they got assassinated in Sense of the Shadow Realm by Jaden Daniels, Swift averaged 22.6 points per game, which is RB1 numbers. But after that, after the assassination, the Bears, nosedive, Swift averages 10.5 points per game, which is, bare flex starting running back, maybe not even that, like RB4 numbers, honestly. And hopefully, if this offense can get on track, Caleb Williams can get this offensive going. They've got a good line now. Swift could maybe not that 22.6 points per game, but maybe 15 points per game, which would make him, he's going right now as an RB3. Maybe he could jump up to being an RB2. Like, I don't think DeAndre Swift is ever going to be a sleeper in the sense that he's going to be an RB1, but I think he could be a sleeper in the sense that he's going from, a flex consideration to being an RB2 consideration and being in your lineup every week. There's still the opportunity for him to do this. They didn't add any significant running back competition, although it is important to mention that Swift, even without running back competition, has never really been a three-down back. Last year, he averaged just 66.8% of snaps. He was only on the field for that many, and he rarely exceeded 4 yards per carry in a game. He did have some spike games, but there was a lot of games, too, where he was well under 4 yards per carry. And listen, he's been a guy who he's kind of just averaged 13 points per game for his entire career. He peaked as the RB15 in 2022, and after that he kind of fell off in being a past RB20 in points per game. And now we're looking at an offense where he could be good, but also it's important to note that Ben Johnson is the new coach of the head Chicago Bears. He and Swift have been on a team together back in Detroit, and that was the year that Jamal Williams, a guy who is basically non-existent in the NFL anymore, was given an amazing amount of carries and had 30 touchdowns or some shit. That's an exaggeration. But there's a high possibility that Ben Johnson might just hate DeAndre Swift. And, Swift has never been this elite rusher, but I do think that if he's given at least some amount of opportunities, he could be productive in the sense that he could be an RB2 despite being an RB3. So you're drafting Swift as a floor, maybe a little bit of an upside player, but I'm going to give him a grade of C+, because I think he is just an average.